Today it's mainly a lower body day. I got some heavy squats, some pause deadlifts, some Bulgarian split lunges for unilateral, some hamstrings, and close grip bench. So for squats, I'm trying to hit somewhere between 375 and 385. On Wednesday, just 2 days ago, I crushed my pause squat workout and I was blowing up 315 for 5 on the pause squats. So that's getting close to where my old squat strength is, but this time I'm hitting depth. And because that feels good, I do wanna turn it up a notch today, but I wanna stay behind the fatigue so I can continue to progress and hopefully build up a really good squat in the next couple of months. So we'll see. I'm hoping for a 385 smoke show, but once I hit around 315, I'll know what the actual number will be. So I was really happy with the way 365 moved. Under normal conditions, I would have bumped it up to 385 because I'm only hitting a triple. But I'm just beginning to learn my new squat form. So I didn't want to have the weight like overcomplicate my mind and then I end up like skipping depth, you know, because I'm trying to overcompensate with my back. So I'm trying to be a good boy. I'm gonna hit 375. Hopefully it's perfect form, good speed, and that'll set me up for next week where I get to hit 385 and I can keep ingraining these good patterns. And hopefully I'm back at 405 with good depth and good speed. Speed was good. My second rep, I kind of tilted forward a little bit. So it's really good I didn't bump it up to 385 because I think under normal circumstances, if I feel the forward tip, then on my third rep, I would have tried to overcompensate with my back, probably missed depth if it was 385. But with 375, I was confident enough to believe in the form and load my quads again rather than my posterior. So I corrected it, moved great, got just 2 more sets. And I think I'm gonna have a good 9 reps of 375 this week.
It ain't no thing to do my thing, it's what I did the best. I copped that crib and bought 2 chains and then I hid the rest. And it's okay to do your thing, but just don't do the most. I put my friends in that old Benz and took that to the coast.
Sometimes it's hard to get motivation to lift heavy here by yourself compared to barbell. Because, you know, at barbell, like you see someone get after it, or you see someone with similar strength to you, not that you're competing, but when you see someone like put out, you're like, oh shoot, that guy's grinding hard, I need to grind hard. At home, you're your own coach, you know? So if you don't feel good or if you feel tired, it's easy to just like, oh, I won't put that 25 on, or I won't put that 10 on that I said I was gonna put on from last week. So you really have to like get after it, you know? For me, what helps keep my motivation is I'm a big believer in programs, because when you're programming, whether it's yourself or your coach, they're from a very level-headed space. They're thinking about big picture, long plan, what's gonna happen in 12, 14, 16 weeks, maybe even half a year. And once they're in that nice Zen place and they create this plan, when you're training hard, there's a saying in the special forces where you don't make any decisions when going uphill. Because when you're going uphill and the going gets tough, of course you wanna go back down. But if you set the plan and you're just gonna commit to the plan, that's gonna be the best. So I have a program. When going gets tough and I want to not put the weight on, I go, I got a plan I gotta follow. So that helps me out tremendously.
You say that all is good. You say that all is great. I say that y'all can. And that's cause y'all seem fake.
So like most powerlifters these days, I'll do multiple movements in a day. I'll squat and bench, or I'll bench and deadlift. On some days, I squat, bench, and deadlift, like today. And the way that I like to program, and I feel like majority of people are like this, is you can probably give it your all to 1, maybe 2 exercises. So it'll be really hard to do a high intensity, moderate volume squat, bench, and deadlift and have all the quality be the same at the end of your workout than at the first of your workout. And effort quality is just as important as effort output or input from the athlete. So how I like to program is each day I do have a main focus, and I know if I have to give everything, my all, my focus, my bandwidth, that's the first workout that I do. So for example, Fridays are my heavy squat days. So I start off with a heavy squat. My deadlift is my second priority, and as you can see, I didn't go very heavy. There was only 325 for pause, so that's mainly to fix my positioning off the bottom, so it's almost troubleshooting. Then I'm gonna finish off the rest of my lower body accessories, kind of taking advantage of the fatigue state that my lower body is in. So now I can reach hypertrophy faster by busting out some Bulgarian split squats, by hitting some hamstrings. Then I'll add in close grip bench at the end, which for me, on the specific purpose of this day, is just to add in a little bit more volume, work on the triceps a little bit, but not enough to fatigue me for next week's big bench workout, which I'll have at the beginning of that day. For someone that doesn't have the perfect training environment or has to train alone, a couple of tips that I have to help you stay consistent with your training is number one, make sure you find something that is fun, that you love. Maybe it is barbell and weights, or maybe it's running, maybe it's swimming, maybe it's slacklining, maybe it's rock climbing. When you love to do something, it's much, much easier to stick to it. The second thing is have a plan. Whether you get a coach or you write it down yourself, that's extremely important. When you're level-headed and you can think long-term and you know what the goal is and why you're doing it, it's much easier to stick to that. And the last thing is, you can always start small and build up. Too many people are like, New Year's resolution, I'm gonna lose 50 pounds, I'm gonna start by running 10 miles every day. You're gonna burn yourself out real quick. Start with maybe even 10 feet, 100 feet. Walk back and forth in your living room for 5 minutes. When you're able to build from something small, you build the confidence and the momentum, and you're able to hit the plan, you're able to do something fun, and that's how you're able to do things long term, because when you do things long term, that's when you see results.